You are only one thing. You're a divine being, an all-powerful creator. You're a deity in jeans and a t-shirt, and within you dwells the infinite wisdom of the ages and the sacred creative force of all that is, will be, and ever was. So, I'm Mike Harrell. I've got my, spiritual shirt on. And this is an introduction to how to become 100% psychic in the language lessons of the heart format. So, the first thing about becoming psychic is to recover where you're already psychic. And we're already psychic all the time, so I'm going to kind of show you how psychic you are. See me moving my hand? Doing this? See that? Moving around? See that? I move, right? But when I do this, what happens? We've been taught to think that our brain sends signals down our arm to our hand. That's not true. What actually happens when you do this, or any kind of movement at all, is first your heart actually, it's your conscious being, actually envisions what you want to do. Then your heart feels that, send the signals out to all parts of your body simultaneously. Then your body starts to move, and then you recognize that you're doing what you want to do. And this is some very sophisticated movements, right? All kind of stuff. Any kind of thing that I can imagine, I send an impulse to my body, and my body responds. The DNA is the psychic receptors of your body. So every cell in your body is psychically tuned. It is not chemical, it is not electrical, it is not energy. It is first psychic, then it's energy, then it's electrical, then it's biochemical. So the psychic is king. We are psychic in everything we do, everything we feel, every action that we have is a psychic impulse. Okay? That's the first thing. So that means you're 100% psychic in your body. That's where the training starts. It starts from the skin in. Like a tree, you have to grow your psychic abilities from the root. Yeah? And the root is our body. And we are psychically attuned to our body all the time. When you're happy, yay, I'm happy, right? That is a psychic impulse that you send to yourself. Yeah? Yeah. If I look at the tree and I go, oh, look, there's a tree, and I have a relationship with the tree, I talk to the tree and the tree talks back, that is a psychic impulse. From your heart to your body to the tree, and then it reverberates back. So when a tree can talk to you, the earth can talk to you, the sky can talk to you, the air can talk to you, and you can talk to them because it's a psychic impulse. That's all it is. All your happiness and all your sadness and all your conditions and beliefs, everything is a psychic impulse first. Then it's energy, then it's electrical and biochemical, and your body responds. And then it goes up to your computer, which is this. Your brain is your computer screen, and it reads, "Oh, this is I'm waving my hands now, or I'm talking now." That's self-awareness. So before even self-awareness happens, a psychic impulse happens, and that's what you want to learn first: is the psychic impulse. Pay attention to the psychic impulse that you give. So you've been given a psychic impulse that you're not psychic. And that psychic impulse conditions so the psychic impulse tells us what to believe and what not to believe. So Even though you're having psychic experience all the time, everything you say, feel, do, see all these movements, all that is a psychic impulse. Listening to me is a psychic impulse, okay? But because you have the belief and you've been conditioned that that is not psychic, that we are not living in a psychic world, that things are not real, or that they're not alive, or you're not able to communicate with the birds, the trees, or the people, or things at a distance, or the universe, or God, or creators, or all those guys. You're conditioned that that's not real. Then you have that psychic impulse, goes into your heart, it becomes electrical chemical, and it is denied coming into your awareness. The last thing is your awareness. So you want to be aware. So it's not really a condition of you're not psychic. You are psychic. Yeah, you are psychic. We are all psychic. The issue is letting yourself know how psychic you are. Letting yourself feel how psychic you are. Claiming your psychic ability. Claiming that everything that you do or that has been done to you is a psychic impulse first. If you're blamed or shamed, that was a psychic impulse. If you feel happy and if you like dancing or listening to music, that is a psychic impulse. Yeah? Everything is a psychic impulse first. Then it becomes an experience, and it becomes an emotion, and it becomes all these other things. But it's always a psychic impulse first. So we're taught that this stuff is just matter, and that matter doesn't matter. We're taught that the trees aren't conscious, so you can't have a conscious conversation with the trees. These are all conditions placed on your psychic abilities. Yeah? Severely limited. We're taught, I don't know everything, so I have to learn everything. That's completely not true. You know everything. But the conditions you place on yourself, the psychic impulse that I don't know everything, that's a psychic impulse. It's called a judgment. I don't know everything. So I have to learn everything. So I have to struggle and learn everything. That's not true. That's just a psychic impulse. You can also give yourself the impulse of I do know everything. I'm connected to everything. I'm 100% psychic. It's a psychic impulse. So the reason why you're not psychic is because you've given yourself a psychic impulse that you're not psychic. It's as simple as that. And if you're not happy, that's a psychic impulse telling you to not be happy. See? That's a psychic impulse to slap myself. It's the same thing as if I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not intuitive enough, I'm not spiritual enough. It's a psychic impulse to slap yourself. Now, if you slap yourself long enough, where you had your mom slap you, your dad slap you, or your friends slap you, or society slaps you around, pretty soon you're going to stop thinking, you're going to actually believe that you're not smart enough, you're not psychic, you're not in tune, you don't, it's ridiculous. So we have layers and layers and layers and layers of denied abilities, denied acceptance, denied exploration, denied imagination, which are all psychic impulse. So, the first and most powerful thing you can do to become super psychic is to focus in on the impulses that are coming to you. Where are they coming from? What is the quality of those impulses that are coming to you, to receiving, right? So there's the receiving part of psychic abilities and the sending part of psychic abilities. Now, if you look into history, most people are very, very psychic when they're little, and you grow out of it. The reason why you grow out of it, the doctors actually say you'll grow out of it, is because we get loaded up with denied psychic abilities, denied power, denied memories, denied imagination. Yeah? And these psychic impulses, which are in our biofield, tell us no, 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 no. So that we have this tiny little window that we can look out of and say, well, that's, my aunt called me and I knew it was her on the phone, and that's the only thing you have is psychic, right? or I had an intuition that this was going to be a bad relationship, but I didn't listen. And that's the only little, you see, that's the only little bit of psychic ability you have. It's not that your whole life is psychic. You don't have that one. It's not that we're living in a psychic universe and everything is impulsing all the time. The sun is a psychic communication. Every breath you take is a being giving you information, giving you life, giving you consciousness. But we don't look at the air as a being that we're having a conscious interaction with. If you meditate on air and breathe in air, guess what? You get high as a kite. High as a kite. Your whole being is filled with light. That is a psychic phenomena. Enlightenment is a psychic phenomena from your friend the air, from your friend the universe, from the, you see? Life is a psychic phenomena. And we're told it's mundane, it's natural, it's chemical, it's just evolution, there's no consciousness, it has no meaning. So, that's part one. Let me go over this little clip from the Heart Math Institute. They put out really good stuff. They're on the ball. I want to show you some things that prove my point that we're psychic all the time. Science is showing that our hearts are intuitive and react to events before they even happen. Once again, scientifically proving the reality of intuition, psychic ability. Participants were hooked up to sensors to measure their brain activity, as well as their heart activity and brain-heart interactions. They were shown some beautiful images and some disturbing images, a snake and a flower, randomly. What they also found was incredible. Not only did the body respond before the images were even shown, but the heart was first to respond even before the brain.
Looking at the signals that the heart was sending to the brain, that the heart literally sent a different message to the brain, depending on what the future picture was going to be. Then you saw a brain response. Then you saw the body response, which is where it then became conscious. So the flow of this intuitive information is heart, brain, body, and then you have to have the body response for it to become consciously aware of it.
What I just showed you in this beginning here was the truth. You're psychic all the time. And that your heart is actually your psychic receiver, and intuition comes from your heart. So your heart is your infinite mind. And your identity is your finite, mundane mind. So I want to talk about the difference between knowing and process. You've known your whole life that you're not psychic, or that you're this identity or that identity. And that's a lie, because that is in your identity mind, which is the mundane mind. But in your heart, it's a completely different story. So your ability to interface with being psychic has been denied your whole life, most of your whole life. And you feel this denial as the desire to want to be psychic, which is really to be engaged in your infinite mind, your immortal mind. Yeah? Infinite and immortal. That's who we want to be. And psychic, your psychic denial is what is the door that closed. It closed for you from your infinite self and you became finite. So denial is a big deal. I want to show you about denial. Now, you can see my eyes, right? When I close my eyes, it blocks out all the light. Yeah? And your eyes are the weakest muscle in your body. That little thin membrane blocks out all the light. You would close your eyes, all the light's gone. Yeah? That is an analogy to denial. Okay? So when you have denials in your consciousness, in your mundane mind, in your identity mind, who I am, when you have denials in them, it blocks out your psychic abilities. I'll do it to show you another way of looking at it. In my pocket, I'm going to pull out my keys, right? These are my keys. Now, I want to open up the door to my psychic abilities, but the key is to even know that the door's there, so it was in denial. When it's in my pocket, when it's out of my reach, when it's out of my identity mind, then I can't do anything about it, because the key to unlock the door is in denial. So you do not want denial in your life. You want to know everything. You're an infinite being, and you want to know infinite amount of things. You want to have access to everything, not have doors closed for you. So denial is what closes the door, and forget about it, right? There's a lot of different variation on denial. I have videos on that. So denial is a big deal. You have denied abilities. Now I'm going to show you a little clip on from another video. I don't know if I posted it yet. Another clip on it's from a video called The Demon Wars, and I just want to show you some of the things that are denied the average person. What I've just read is the effect of judgments, laws, and codes that form our outer government, mind control, and subject us, enslave us, and operate us in our inner world, in our inner being. What we see as the governed ones, the controlled ones, and the limits placed on us is the outer manifestation of our inner control system we call our beliefs, judgments, and morality. But this is not us. This is all a lie and a forced imposition. Every judgment and every law and every controlling intent made by our inner governor and enslaver has denial as its goal and intent. Every judgment is also a denial of you. And these denials accumulate and become massive until we have denial as our operating system for life. We have denied liberty, we have denied freedoms, we have denied grace, we have denied innocence, we have denied speech, we have denied connections to all things, we have denied joy and bliss, and we have denied hopes. Our ability to dream is denied. We have denied power, massively denied power. We have denied creativity. We have denied greatness. And we have denied adventure and wonder. And we have denied intelligence and knowing. And we have denied memories, including of who we are. We have denied peace and are always in turmoil. We have denied realization of the repeating patterns of war and genocide. We have denied love, both seeking and giving, and our world is heartless as a result. We have denied compassion for suffering. Denial kills our inner child, then holds that dead baby up in our face saying, remember when this happened to you? We have denied imagination, and this is shamed out of us. We have denied place, so there are so many places we cannot go, and our right place is denied us. We have denied time to be. All feelings are denied. As a result, we have denied rage, denied fear, denied joy, and gratitude, and the full spectrum of emotions are denied. We have denied love. We have denied connection to our pain and being denied, and this denial of denial is the most brutal of all. So numbed by denial that we do not marshal our rebellion and accept our denied life passively. Even asking for help has been denied us and replaced with a shame and dread that blocks our impulse to ask for help. We cannot even self-care and rally the rage and resistance to start our own inner revolution. This has also denied us. Well, if you think judgments, beliefs, and denials are just words with little meaning, then your connection to the above-mentioned result has been denied. You see it in the world and are angry, yet you have been denied seeing the effects of judgments and denials in your own life. This is to say you've been denied responsibility for your own denials and judgments. And as Anis Salas says, it all starts with convenience. The convenience of a TV dinner and a microwave oven. It is convenient to live with rules and in a society. It's convenient to be governed. It has become so convenient to do no thinking or feeling or taking responsibility. But at what cost? Denial says don't look, don't question, do not rebel. Be a zombie with a smile on your face, even if you are dying inside. Okay, so we're waking up, right? That's what everybody says. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. We're waking up. Oh, look. And then what do you find when you wake up? That the government is a lie, that money is a lie, that religion is pretty much all a lie, that the economy's fake. All this stuff we wake up to, that's what the first part of waking up is that this all thing is just a bunch of identity BS, belief systems. Yeah? So, and then what do? We look for more and more. What is this lie? What is that lie? And we research about the history of the lie, of how we got controlled, and all these people are greedy and doing this, and we call that waking up. We also wake up to, oh look, there's nature and I feel love and other things. So we wake up to the contrast between the world, which is a lie, which is formed by identity beliefs, is in contrast with the living experience of love and niceness and the value of the self and your own inner growth and self-compassion and compassion for others and love for Mother Earth. Yeah? So the contrast, love for Mother Earth and this weird government, reality, religion, wizardry. That's what it is. But when it comes, and then the last thing that happens, the last thing that happens, when you point to all those things that are not real, not true, not worth, just, that are damaging, hurting, mean, and evil, you got three fingers pointing back at you. And sooner or later, you have to take its skin in. Yeah, inside of you, and wake up to the lies that are inside of you. Okay, well, this is what this middle part of this video is about. We have been told, on average, 56,000 no's. No, 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 no. No, you can't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, don't feel that. No, no, no. And each one of those no's is a denial of you. And each denial that you have of you, that denied your feelings, denied your expressions, denied your want to know, denied your intuition, denied your psychic abilities, every one of those no's was formed a conclusion inside of you, which is a judgment. So the judgment and denial are the same thing, two sides of the same coin. If you can see it, it's one side, and if you can't, it's in your pocket. It's the same thing. So it is not enough to know. Yeah? Knowing is pretty goddamn unreliable. You knew that the reality was one way when you were at one age, and now it's another way at another age. So knowing is not enough. You have to have a process of directly experiencing things, right? So that's why I say, practice this. Put your conscious awareness into the impulse that makes your body move. Do that over and over again, 100 times, until you actually are aware. This is a process. You teach yourself to connect all these dots from the psychic impulse and connect it back to the heart, to the electrical, chemical, in our body, in our arm. To do that, there's around 10 trillion, T with trillion, right? We've only got 10 billion stars in the galaxy. This is 10 trillion DNA receptors in your body. There's no way that you can connect to 10 trillion receptors with your monkey mind, with your identity mind. It doesn't work. It's a psychic impulse first. Yeah? So practice that until you can understand the psychic impulse of just moving your hand, stopping, moving, anything you want it to do. And when you change what you have it do, you have to feel the psychic impulse, okay? And as you're listening to me, there's psychic impulses going off inside of you saying yes, no, and it's like agreeing, and the heart going, yeah, I want that, Feel that psychic impulse that is your receptive centers. Receptive centers. To receive psychic impulse is a big deal. Yeah. So even while you're watching the video, know that your receptive centers are firing, and you say, oh, this is true, this is right, or I don't know about that, or and all these kind of things are going on inside your head. So it's not enough to know. You have to do a process. You have to do the process. You have to practice. You've been practicing not being psychic for your whole life. So now you're going to practice being psychic. And this is just a start. Okay? It's not enough to know that you're infinite and immortal. Practice it. Go out and talk to the trees. Go out and talk to the life and birds and bees and animals and earth and the water. Water's a big deal, very conscious. I have videos on that. Okay, so what I want to do now is show you, and I just showed you this clip about denial. Denial is such a huge, big deal. Everything has been denied you. Your infinite, immortal self has been denied you. Get out a piece of paper and write down your denials. Write down your judgments and beliefs, the things that have held you back for so long, because that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so you really, really, really want to get, just to know you have denials is not enough. You have to have a process to release them and to train your body, heart, will, spirit, heart, will, and body. Train them to find your denials and bring them back up to the surface so you can do a judgment release. So the denial and judgment release are the same thing. But you don't want denial in your life, because denial operating in the subconscious, it has more power over you. It is the closed eyes. It's what closes your eyes to the truth of who you are. Denial closes you off from who you really are. You do not want denial in your life. So we're going to do denial release and judgment release. And since the theme of this, what I'm teaching now, is psychic abilities, the first denial is going to be the denial of I'm not psychic. So, first feel the discomfort that this denial of the judgment has caused in your life. Feel it. You feel that there's something lacking, that there's something you want to be able to do that you can't do, something that you've been held back. Feel that psychic impulse of wanting to connect again, to be the fullness of who you are. You got to feel it first, because all this stuff is the psychic impulse of the feeling that you have. You want to be psychic. You want to be whole. You want to be fulfilled. Yeah? Then you say, yes, I recognize my denial that I'm not psychic. That's your denial. Then, yes, I offer loving acceptance to this denial, and a short pause. And yes, I forgive myself for believing in denial for so long. Forgiveness and acceptance is key. It really is. So, next, because I no longer want or need denial in my life for so long, in denial of my life, I now offer it loving release. And when you do the release, you give a big exhale, and this is just to train your being to not only feel it release with a big exhale, but you also want to visualize this denial stuff, darkness or a little being or whatever it is, visualize it going out. This is a psychic exercise. I now offer it loving release and see it walk out or float out, or however you see something going out through a door or out away from you. Yes, I would now like to replace this denial with the new understandings and begin to see the new understandings come back in. And with denial release, it's always about you don't want denial. So the opposite of denial is I want to know. I no longer need things hidden. Denial is not loving. I cannot love what is in denial. My light must be able to shine into what was denied. I no longer want my greatness denied. What is denied is part of me. Denial blocks my love. Denial is no longer helping me. I want nothing denied ever in my healing. I will not be hurt by my denials anymore. You cannot overdo this and add as many replacements as you want. And you're going to do this over and over again until you're going to do this over and over and over again with every denial and every judgment you ever have until your whole being does not want to be in denial anymore, rejects denial, rejects separation, rejects being shut down and closed back. Okay, that is the denial release. Now we're going to do the judgment release, which sounds the same, but it's not. Remember, the first one is to get rid of denial, so that in your consciousness you do not want denial, and you really don't want denial. The next one is the actual teeth of the actual snake that bit you, right? And this snake in this situation is, I'm not psychic enough, or I'm not psychic, however it works out for you. It's the same process, just with a different emphasis. So first, I feel the discomfort this denial has caused in your life. You've got to feel it to heal it, right? It's like it sucks not being an interdimensional being or being psychic or not being intuitive. It sucks to be closed down all the time. And it also may suck to have too much, but that's another story. Then say, yes, I recognize my judgment that I am not psychic enough. Then, yes, I offer loving acceptance to this judgment. Short pause. And yes, I forgive myself for believing in this judgment for so long. Next, because I no longer need or want this judgment in my life, I now offer it loving release. Big exhale. And the psychic part, the whole thing is psychic, but the psychic part is to see some energy, see some being, see whatever it is floating or walking out. And last, yes, I'd now like to replace this judgment with the new understandings and begin to see something revised, bright and fresh coming back into you. I am psychic. That's the replacement. I am psychic. I've always been psychic. And each one of these replacements is an impulse, okay? It's a psychic impulse. You're giving yourself permission. You're giving yourself opening of the doors. I've always been psychic. Everything I do is psychic. This is a psychic universe. All things are psychic beings. Existence is a psychic experience, and you cannot overdo this. You can do as many as you wish. That is the process, and process is what gets the job done. So when you do this, remember you have layers of 56,000 no's, and which is judgments. You're not good enough. Shut up. Be quiet. Or I love you, but your house is your room is messy, or whatever. So they're both judgment and denial. They're denial because you don't know they're happening all the time, but they're judgments because they have an effect on your life, a psychic effect on you. So in a way, judgment and denial are a little bit like opposition, demons, limitations. And you want to get rid of those things. You don't want any limitations. You don't want any denial to deny you. All right. Well, we're going to end the video here. Hope this was helpful. This is a beginning of how to become 100% psychic. And I have quite a few videos that I'd like to address. One is about being empath, and that is somebody who's psychic and picks up the feelings of people, and it becomes painful. It's too much for them. That's one video I think I need to address. Then another one is psychic attacks. Okay, this is targeted individuals and people who have what appears to be mental issues, or they have demonic attacks, or from the government, whatever. I want to do one on that. Psychic healing. I want to do a little bit about psychic healing and how that works. I definitely want to get to the spirit world and how amazing the spirit world is, and and more, because this is, like I said, you're already 100% psychic. It's just the blinders on your eyes, and to align yourself up, to give yourself permission to be the psychic person that you are, to be the fullness of who you are. And oh yeah, the other one I want to do is interdimensional beings. I want to talk about, because that's the direction we're going. If I say to you, we are infinite and immortal beings, and you have no place for that, to be, I am infinite and an immortal being, and I have been everywhere, I'm everywhere now, and I've done everything, and there's nothing that can hurt me. To have that as a practical experience in your life, that is the direction that we're going. So being psychic is only one part of the piece of the puzzle, and it's important because it opens the doors to everything else. And it's about being in your heart, because you're not going to get anywhere without it going from your heart first. So how to make sure your heart's clean, pure, powerful, lion-hearted is real important. So interdimensional and all those other things, psychic attacks. Oh yeah, and spirit releasement therapy. That's really important too. That kind of falls in between demonic attacks, psychic attacks, and spirit possession. So there's a lot of video ground that we can cover. But remember, it's under the umbrella of language lessons of the heart. It's all about finding what's inside of you and releasing it, and re-empowering yourself so you're powered up and you're protected. These are real important things. So there's a lot more coming up. Share, sub, like, comment, do all those kind of things that normal people do. All right. Well,